Hi, Northampton Park Runners. I've got a special treat for you today. Mystery guest, will you reveal yourself?
Yes, hi, it's Bruce Fordyce. I'm the country manager of South Africa and Southern Africa Parkrun. And hi to everyone at Northampton Parkrun. My home run is Delta Park, and I had a look at your course. Very flat and easy. Ours is hilly with a couple of monster hills, and also we're at high altitude. But anyway, greetings to all of you. We are extremely jealous that you guys are parkrunning because we're not yet, but we hope to soon. And I would like to invite all of you to think about one day possibly coming and running a South African parkrun, because we have some unique and special parkruns on the borders of our game reserves, on our beaches in Cape Town and Durban, in the mountains, in the deserts in Namibia. And it will be a wonderful treat, I promise you, and you'll be made to feel most welcome. And we're very proud of the fact that we are the slowest parkrun country in the world. Our average time is something like 40 minutes. So no matter how slow you are, you'll feel welcome. But if you're fast, be frightened, because we have some quite fast runners. And I just thought I'd quickly turn around and say, I'm trying to. Oh. There's our flag on the back of our volunteer shirt. And it's as colorful as we are as people. And I can't wait maybe one day to be able to come and run Northampton. And if you're over 65, graying and balding like me, beware, because I'm quite competitive.
So what do you think of, we've got some over 80-year-olds, and you know about Bob, 88.
Yes.
We have, we've lost you, but never mind. We have Roger.
Got the message. We got the message.
We got the message. We got Roger, who's we got Roger, who's 94, our oldest park runner, as well as Gerald and Alan, who are 84. Who's your oldest at your home park run?
Yeah, we've got a couple of 80-year-olds, and we did have a 90-year-old at our park run down on the KwaZulu-Natal coast, Uvongo, but sadly he's passed away. But he was actually retired Spitfire pilot from the Second World War. I just embarrassed to say I can't remember his name, but he was one of them. So yeah, we similar to you, we've got the full range of abilities, ages, sizes, etc.
So as you're someone who is well famous, for those that don't know, and that I'm hoping is our junior park runs, is Bruce is a 9 times winner of the Comrades, which is an ultra marathon over in South Africa, and he's also won 3 times in the UK the London to Brighton ultra marathons. So if you don't know about Bruce, and I'm expecting the younger generation to say no, Google, to the older ones, what message would you like to say to them, Bruce?
The younger ones, I'd like to say, enjoy your park running, because it's a perfect introduction to running, because there's no pressure. You can run as hard as you like, or as easily as you like. And I've done over 400 park runs, and at one stage I was quite badly injured. I was more than happy and felt welcome and not laughed at to walk with the people at the back and to be tail walker for a couple of times. But when I feel like going for it, I'll go for it. And I love that non-pressure, but also to all the youngsters to try all sports. I think we, don't necessarily specialize in running, though running tends to be the basis of fitness for everything. I tried everything at school and was, I think, universally pretty incompetent at most things. But I was good at running from an early age, and so that pushed me in that direction when I was at an age when I could really do well.
So we're going to ask yourself, I know South Africa at the moment are not going, but in the UK we are getting some park runners, some newbies, those thinking about coming, those that have just started. What advice would you give to those that are just starting, they haven't exercised for decades since they left school, to come and try parkrun?
Yeah, please just come along. I think we're very proud of the fact in South Africa that, I wouldn't say we were the first, but we were the first to really truly welcome slow and runners and beginners, and make them feel comfortable and make them feel welcome. And so I think if you were going to start, parkrun's probably the best environment ever. And I wish when I had started, and I started running on June the 8th, 1976. I wish Parkrun had existed then, because I had to run on my own for quite a few months before I felt I was fit enough to start becoming a bit serious about it. Just go to your nearest parkrun and you will absolutely love it. And you will kick yourself that you didn't go sooner.
And what advice would you give to those that are thinking about going further than Parkrun? So, thinking of increasing from a 5K and taking that step to maybe, 6K, 7K?
Yeah, sure. I would say stop thinking about it and do it, and you will amaze yourself. We human beings are astonishing creatures, and I've learned that our powers of endurance and our powers of belief, once we can do something, are magnificent. The problem is we too often talk ourselves out of it. So go and run a 10K. Go and run a 10K and you'll find it's not much different from a 5. And then it's just a hop, skip and a jump and you're doing a half marathon. And then it's just a chip and a putt and you run a marathon. And then one day you test yourself in an ultra.
At Parkrun, as we spoke yesterday, I was saying to you about at Northampton, we're very proud that we are a diverse course and we have wheelchair users, deaf runners, visually impaired. What advice would you give to those that are feeling, it's a Parkrun for me because I've got a disability? What advice would you say?
No, I mean, who am I to, I feel extremely, extremely lucky that I obviously chose my parents correctly. And my genetics were very good. So when I was younger, I was a very good runner. But try not to let the problem that you might have stand in your way, just so you can conquer it. I mean, and at the moment, to be honest with you, but I'm nowhere near in the same category as somebody who's battling with their sight or is in a wheelchair. But most of my right knee is a bit of a mess, and I could have given up. But I accepted, I gave myself permission to be slow. And I now am content to still be part of the field and enjoy it as a slower, older runner.
And we've mentioned yesterday, and I'd like you to share with the Northampton Park runners, that you're a natural parkrun tourist.
I'm one of the most fanatical tourists around. I'm completely addicted. So before, all this lockdown and COVID stuff happened, I was probably running a different parkrun every Saturday in South Africa, but we were starting new parkruns on almost every single Saturday anyway. So I've been privileged enough to see most of Southern Africa probably 3 or 4 times. As I've said, from the desert to the seas, to the Kruger National Park, to Namibia, to Eswatini, Swaziland, all over, which has been wonderful. So I've probably done well over 200 parkruns in my own Southern Africa, but I've also been privileged enough to travel. So I'm quite proud of the fact that I've got the flags. I've ticked the flags of Russia, Poland, England, Scotland, Wales, where else? Australia, USA, and I know I've left France. Once we can start running again and traveling again, I have every intention of ticking as many of the parkrun countries that I can.
And just for those Northampton park runners that have got that question, have you done Bushy Parkrun, the home of Parkrun?
I have done the ultimate pilgrimage. And in fact, not only that, I have quite a unique record. It was my very first parkrun. Bushy Parkrun was my very first. Parkrun did not exist in South Africa, and I was invited to run Bushy by Paul Sinton Hewitt, the founder of Parkrun. And on the basis of that experience, I then said to him, I want to start Parkrun in South Africa. And he said, that's why I asked you to come along. I also have a unique record, which is maybe quite a depressing one, is that my fastest parkrun time is my first parkrun time that I ran at Bushy. I ran 18:26 and I lost to Tom Williams, the COO of Parkrun in globally. I lost to him by 1 second. And that 18:26 has remained my fastest time at Parkrun. And I've got nowhere close to that ever since.
Now, Bruce, you do know Parkrun is not a race. Okay, let's make that clear.
No, we know that, but
I know, I'm joking.
But within the context of parkrun not being a race, we all have slightly competitive little streaks in our side. As I said, if I see a balding, grey-headed guy who I think in my age category, I'm not going to let him go lightly. You know, unless I've already agreed that I'm going to run with somebody, or I'm going to be a pilot for a partially sighted runner. But if I'm there on my own steam and I feel like having a go, I'll have a go. And that's the delight of parkrun. I think you can decide on the morning how you want to do it. Do you just want a gentle jog, or do you want to go hard? And so that, I think, makes it very special.
I see, as we saw earlier before your picture cut out, so apologies, Northampton Park runners. Bruce does have issues with signal with the picture, but we can still hear him, so it's amazing. We know he's still with us. But we saw you at the beginning proudly with your volunteer show. So you've done a minimum of the 25 volunteer park runs. What's your favourite role in volunteering?
I get very stressed doing scanning or something like that, especially when we've got some very big park runs in South Africa. So we've got some that are well over 1,000 people. And when they start pouring in, you know, the bell curve of when they're all arriving, it can get stressful. But so I'm trying to think what my favorite role is. Probably the one where I'm least likely to make a mistake is if I'm just a marshal on a corner with a flag pointing the direction. But no, I love to be part of it. So token handing out, if there's a wonderful cricket series on at home later on, token sorting, because you can watch the cricket while you token sort. And then because I am the country manager, kind of CEO of Parkrun Southern Africa, I generally tend to speak before each parkrun, a new parkrun. So I say a few words, and I enjoy that, not because I like showing off in front of people, but I love to be facing people and to see the enthusiastic faces and how keen everyone is and happy they are to be there. And what I love doing is asking, do we have any visitors today? And when you see the hands go up and they come from other parkruns, and then astonishingly, and I never get bored of it, 2 visitors from a New Zealand parkrun or from an England parkrun, or, you know, as we know. And that's just the magic of parkrun.
So at our parkrun, we have like Brian's Corner, because we have the famous Brian Lewin, who's 72, who's been there for zonks and is famous for his corner. We have Leah on the scanners, Alison on the tokens with Gerald. Do you have in your home parkrun sections that are, you know, known volunteers at those roles?
I would say not possibly at our parkrun, because Delta Parkrun, where I come from, has metamorphosized several times. I mean, there are teams that have come and gone, and people who, you know, it's changed leadership, it's changed volunteers, because it's now almost 12 years old. But there are certain parkrun characters, let's put it like that. Like Tannie Eater. Tannie is an auntie in Afrikaans. So Tannie Eater at Outeniquabosch Parkrun, she's just one of the great characters, and she stands on the corner with a flag. Robbie from Route 44. Torren from Route 44 Parkrun, who stands on it. She's very short, so they made her a platform so she could stand up so people could see her. You know, so we've kind of characters. So because she always likes to tell everyone, you know, she's the run director there, so she gives everyone the instructions before they go, and she stands, and she was too short, so people couldn't see her and they couldn't hear her, so they made her a big platform to stand on. Okay, as soon as we stop talking, I'm going to curse, because I will have forgotten a whole lot of characters.
Oh, we'll stop you there. Well, blame me then. I'll stop you there on the character.
Yeah.
So have you ever done a park run and forgotten your barcode?
Yep. And I can tell you that we all know it is the sickest feeling on the planet. And we absolutely stick to the rule, no exceptions at all for anybody ever. And it did my heart a lot of good to see that Nick Pearson once forgot his parkrun. You know, basically the CEO of Parkrun, he forgot his, no exception, no barcode, no results, no exception.
That was about 2 years ago, wasn't it? That happened.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
laughed. But it happens to all of us. But then I'm a little bit naughty, not naughty. I'm safety conscious now because in a normal environment without lockdowns and that, I've got a barcode in my cubbyhole of my car. I've got a barcode in the back. Yeah, I've got barcodes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, because I'm never going to let that happen again.
Oh, well, Bruce, thank you for giving us your time for the Northampton Park Runners. Is there any lasting words you'd like to say to our park runners?
Please, please, please come and visit us in South Africa. It'll be one of the great experiences of your life. Don't come if you're a rugby player, by the way, wearing red, because you'll lose. But as you did on Saturday, and you're going to this Saturday. But,
okay, we'll stop you there.
No, but please come because you'll absolutely love it. And because I don't know what it is, it's something like 20 Rand to the pound. So, you'll spend about £1.50 and have a slap-up meal. So come along, and then you'll experience a wonderful country with very hospitable people, except on the rugby field, and you'll have a memorable experience. But if you do, try and get hold of me, and if you're coming, I will recommend a park run to you that you should run, given where you are. And if you're coming for a couple of weeks, I'll give you 2 iconic ones or 3 iconic ones that you should run. We can't wait to welcome you.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you very much for your time.
So much.
And just talking to our Northampton
I'm
Park
waving
runners.
even though you can't see me, and I'm sorry about my technology. It's as old as I am, so it's falling apart, but I haven't got around to changing it because I'm so frightened of change.